Folks, I am recording this video today in relation to the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme grants, which are due to be released by HMRC over the coming weeks. And there's been a big change announced actually today by HMRC in relation to that particular scheme. So I just want to talk about that first of all, and then I want to show you what you need to know about getting access to the grants. So originally when the scheme was announced, it was announced that the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme will be available to everyone who's self-employed, who has submitted a 2018-19 tax return, and that the grant will be based on your average self-employed earnings times 80% over the 3 tax years ending 2018-19. Part of the announcement when the scheme was first rolled out was that agents such as ourselves would be able to handle the process on behalf of clients, and that there would be sort of a minimal amount of information required from qualifying self-employed people, and that the grants would be paid into your business bank account sometime during the first week of June. So big changes happened today when HMRC have now announced that agents are not going to be able to handle the grant claims for the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme on behalf of our clients, which is unfortunate and regrettable, but we are where we are. Secondly, they also announced that it's no longer an automatic process. So they had originally certainly given us the information that it was going to be an automatic payout first week of June based on the average earnings for the last 3 years. HMRC would be in touch with the taxpayer or their agent to confirm some details, and then the money would be paid out. That's no longer the case either. There's now an application process that you have to go through, and as I say, we can't do it because we're your agent. You have to do this yourself. So let me just talk you through the process of what's involved and tell you exactly what you need in order to be able to make your application to get the grant under the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme. So there are 3 things you're going to need handy. 4 things actually you're going to need handy. First is your unique tax reference number called your UTR. It's on any self-assessment correspondence that you'll get from HMRC, and it's a 10-digit number. If you don't have it handy, you can't lay your hand on it. If you're our client, give us a shout. If not, there's methods on HMRC that you can get access to your UTR. Secondly, you need your national insurance number. Third thing, you'll need just have your bank account details ready when you're making your claim, so you can put those details in for your grant payment. And the fourth thing you need is your government gateway ID and password. Now, for our clients, certainly, and I would say for most clients of accounting firms where they've got an agent acting on their behalf with HMRC and doing all that interaction, a lot of self-employed people may not have or have ready access to their government ID and password. So they need to set up a gateway account, they need to set up a personal tax account, and you need to do that immediately. Because this application process is due to start on Wednesday, the 13th of May. And if you don't have a government gateway account, then I would say get onto it right now. Now, the process of getting that can be done online as well, and I'll try and talk you through that process if needs be. So let's get started. The first place to go is www.gov.uk. And from there, you can click into anything to do with COVID-19. It'll give you all your general public health advice, but there is a section if you scroll down for businesses and self-employed people. So jump in there first of all and click on getting financial help. And then the third option, what you can do now, the third option is find out how to apply for a grant if you're self-employed. So click into there. So this page gives you all the information about the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme as of today, the 4th of May, including all the recent updates. That means agents can't actually do this on behalf of their clients. But a couple of things, let me just sort of walk you through first of all. There is a part on it, check if you're eligible for a claim. Okay, now if you're our client, we will have already advised you if you are eligible or not eligible, and there's no point in really doing this next step unless you really want to, but you're going to get the exact same answer that we've given you. We've already told our clients if they're eligible and how much they can expect to receive as well, or if they're not eligible and why. And there is criteria why people won't be eligible, such as, average profits for the last 3 tax years as far as 18-19 been over £50,000. Or it could be the case that your earnings from self-employment is not more on average than 50% of your total earnings on your tax return. So there's a couple of criteria like that that actually kicks people out of the scheme, unfortunately. But just to click on and show you what you can do there, if you're eligible for a claim, have your UTR ready, have your national insurance number ready. So let's just go into this online tool here. And from there, what you can do is click into your self-assessment tax reference. Okay, I've just removed one from there. Click continue. The next screen will ask you for your national insurance number and click continue, and then the following screen will then tell you you're eligible to apply or you're not eligible to apply. When it says you're eligible to apply, there's also a paragraph which will tell you the earliest time you can make your application. Now, as I said earlier, Wednesday the 13th of May is when the application scheme is opening. But I did one just for a client today to check how this works, and it said that they can apply on Friday the 15th from 8 a.m. All right. So my advice is just get stuck onto that straight away. There's also a button then once it says you're eligible, which is if you need to apply for a government gateway account, you can click on a button there to do that. So if you don't have your government gateway ID and password handy, or you don't know it, or you don't think you've ever set one up, or you don't think you've ever set up a personal tax account, that's totally understandable, because we as agent would certainly handle all of that for you as a client all the time. But there's a button to click, and it will click you here to say, okay, go in here, and now you can create a new government gateway ID and password. So you can start off entering your email address and just follow the screens through. I haven't done this and haven't needed to do it, but I'm pretty sure it's a simple enough process to get a gateway ID and password actually sent through to you by email. So put your email address in. I dare say it'll ask you again, maybe for your tax reference, your national insurance number, your home address, all that kind of standard information. And with all that verified, I do think it's pretty handy to get that information, but get on it now if you really, really need to. All right. In terms of actually making the application itself, then you will see on this page how much you'll get. Let me just, how to claim. So the online service is available from 13th of May. And if you're eligible, HMRC on that screen will tell you when you can make your claim. And if your claim is approved, you get payment within 6 working days. The only good news about this is that no longer are they saying they'll pay you at the start of June. It's 6 days from, I think, you get your claim approved. And if you're going to get your claim approved, say 13th, 14th of May, you're going to get your money well before the end of May on that basis. So that's one good thing that's coming through from this. Let me just scroll down in terms of after you've claimed. So when you make your claim, you need your tax reference, your government gateway ID, your national insurance number, your bank account. You'll also now, folks, be aware of this. You will have to confirm, and it's probably a yes or no answer, that your business has been adversely affected by coronavirus. And I think that's probably an anti-fraud type measure that are basically saying don't be claiming if you shouldn't be claiming. But in most cases, I would say most businesses have been affected, but just be aware of that. And there's a wee bit of rules around state aid. I know that's not going to apply to most of our clients, so I'm not going to dig into that just now. After you've claimed, once you've submitted the claim, you'll get the payment within 6 working days, but just keep records of the actual claim that you've submitted. And you have to report the grant on your self-assessed tax return, which isn't fine if you're a client of ours, you're using zero. That'll be dealt with as grant income in your accounts when we're pulling that together. So that really covers it, folks, in terms of what you need to do. So let me just recap on what you need to do straight away. Go and get yourself a government gateway ID and password now if you don't already have one. Go and check out your eligibility for the grant because it will tell you on that, even though we've told our clients that they are or are not eligible. It will tell you on that online tool. Once you click through your UTR and your national insurance number, if it comes up that you're eligible, it'll tell you the day from 8 a.m. in the morning that you can make your claim. Stick a note in your diary to do it at 8:05 that morning so that you're in the system pretty quickly. I would get onto this as well, folks. One last tip, as early as possible each day. So if it says that you can make your application from Thursday the 14th at 8 a.m., get on at 8 a.m. and do this. with all your details to hand, because I think as longer the days go on, the more people are going to be piling into this, and it just may cause the system to crash at times or your internet to hang and stuff like that. So get on it as quickly as you can. As always, look, if you've any other questions, don't hesitate to give us a shout. But I have to hand it over to you guys now to just follow these steps, get cracking, and check your legibility. Get your government gateway account, have everything to hand, and go get the grants that you are duly entitled to.